What's going on, guys? I just want to thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch my first YouTube video. I'm your host, JDM Supreme, and we're inside my home away from home, Redline Restorations. Now, a little about what Redline Restorations is. It's a company I started roughly 20 years ago doing exactly that right there. Classic vintage automobile restoration to a Concours quality level or standard. The only difference between a Concours quality and another quality restoration is just basically saying that this vehicle or any of the vehicles that we've done can pass a certain scrutiny, points or judging system, and ultimately could win an award at a Concours sanctioned event. It's basically saying that I've been through it and I've done it. So, and I've got the scars on the hands to prove it. Neither here nor there. It's not so much about that. I mean, I did introduce myself as JDM Supreme. So you're like, where are the JDM cars? This is my 9 to 5. This is my home. This is my after hours. The finer wine of JDM cars. Whether it's rehabilitation, restoration, or location of some of the cars that you thought fell off existence completely. So without further ado, I'd like you to sit back and enjoy the content which I'm about to produce. I want you to gain knowledge, tips, tricks, understand do's and don'ts. So without any further delay, I want to introduce you to a very special guest of mine, the world's most sought after Subaru 22B in existence, if you will, the holy grail of holy grails. It's downstairs in the booth right now. This is the type of stuff that you're gonna see from this channel, and you're not gonna see it anywhere else, I can guarantee you. So sit back and enjoy the ride. Today's episode, we're talking about the world's rarest 22B STI. Let me tell you why. So at first glance, you're saying to yourself, why is it so rare? It's just a D-badged 22B STI. Well, not just any D-badged car. The badge wasn't available then because this was the only 22B STI built in 1997. This is prototype 000 out of 400, built 7 months before the first pre-production prototype vehicle. You had your standard pre-production prototype 3000 cars. All of them were built for rally drivers such as Nicky Grist and Colin McRae, and the third vehicle was built for a Subaru corporate team member. Now wait a minute, hold up. You guys are like, yo, there's two different forms of prototype vehicles? That's correct. So this vehicle here is pre-prototype. So you guys are saying like, yo, hold up, there's two different variations of prototype? Correct. This is what they call a pre-production prototype. You have standard production, 000 pre-production vehicles, and then you have pre-production prototype. This vehicle right here is that of a pre-production prototype. This one here, again, being built 7 months before the other 000 cars that were available. This very vehicle was built for Subaru in 1997 for the 1997 Tokyo Auto Salon. This was Subaru's attempt at recreating their rally car and offering it to the public. At first glance, the interior is basically the same as every other 22B STI out there. This beautiful black and blue combination. Radio delete. There you go, you got the 000 out of 400 tag. A center differential control, which we'll talk about in a minute, as well as intercooler sprayers from the factory. So the center differential control actually sets your bias from the rear to the front as you please. This vehicle actually only has 62 kilometers on the odometer, making it one of the lowest mileage 22B STIs in existence. Also note the cool mirror switch. Super JDM. So now on to our next tidbit. Something different about this car that no other 22B has, and not many people actually know. This car has an EJ20, a 2-liter from the factory. This is the only 22B to come with this engine. This car was built again in the middle of 1997, before the EJ22 was created. Something kind of cool, but also yet very dangerous. These are the original tires for this vehicle. Pirelli P0s, they're dry rotted and cracked. They actually have spider webs growing off of them. 62 kilometers, they're like brand old. So you wanna hear what the most valuable 22B in the world sounds like? press my So a cool short story about this very vehicle. I had a Car VX pulled on it, which is basically the JDM version of Carfax. Anyone that's going to buy a JDM vehicle, I recommend that you get the Car VX on it. It tells you ownership history, whether it was wrecked or damaged, just anything. So I pulled one for this car here. I waited 2 weeks to get a reply back. I'm there sweating bullets like, what happened to this thing? Was it wrecked? Was it like repaired title? Was it stolen? No, they actually got back to me because they were issuing me a refund. I said, you gotta issue me a refund. Like, what's the problem? They said there's absolutely nothing on record for this vehicle, that it's such a pre-production, early prototype model that there's just nothing on file, nor was it ever registered. So it's like essentially owning a brand new old car. So there you have it, folks. That's my 2-cent tour on the lowest mileage, rarest, and quite possibly the most valuable Subaru in existence. What's going on, guys? JDM Supreme back. We're here for day 2 of 22B action. You guys didn't think I was gonna let you off the hook without actually driving this car, right? Even though the specific car has roughly 63 kilometers on it since new, it's always a good idea to check your engine oil, regardless of the last time you drove it or the mileage on it. Yep, and just as suspected, this engine needs oil. Guys, with any typical JDM vehicle, please make sure the car's in neutral, because just like this and many others, I can reach in, start the car, no clutch needed. I have a couple bent radiator fins here, actually intercooler fins rather, and I just want to straighten these. Bam. Right here. Obviously, a license plate won't fit on this, as most JDM vehicles. The holes just don't line up, but I'm going to throw it in the rear window. So for insurance purposes, I purposely threw this plastic seat cover on the seats so we don't damage, tear, or stain these seats. Just tripped the odometer. Mileage is going up. That's insane. So guys, first impression with this car, same old Subaru Boxster Rumble. It's been the same for years. It hasn't changed. If you've driven any WRX out of the early mid-2000s, even up to something that's like close to 2020, it's almost the same exact feel. Feels almost the same. It's just obviously on the right side. So just a side note, these vehicles typically ride a lot smoother than its arch nemesis, the Lancer Evolution, like the 6 or 6.5, the Tommy Mackin edition. However, this specific vehicle rides a lot harder. I'm not quite sure if that's it probably attributes to the tires being so old. They're like hockey pucks. Also, one of the reasons why we're not gonna drive this thing crazy, no launches, no full throttle acceleration, just gonna get it back safely kind of thing. Yeah, these vehicles are built for rally, so they're very stable. Even with these old tires on it, It just wants to grip, grab, and throw you into any corner that you can imagine. So that concludes the test drive of the 22B. So the tires were stable enough to actually get us back in one piece. That's a good thing. But did you happen to see what we pulled up next to? That's a Lancer 6.5 Evolution Tommy Mackin edition. We'll save that one for the next episode. See you guys.